my updated ship build. And I figured the best way to put the my power core together. Cargo hold, grav drive, reactor, and 2 fuel tanks all in one 2x2x2. I would have better cargo, but if I put more cargo on, my ship stops turning properly. If I put more weapons on, it's the same thing, my ship starts to not turn properly. I'm thinking it's a bug, obviously, and I'm thinking the best way to fix it is to actually remake my ship in a different ship. There's lots of glitch building in my ship. Do the wings last. So this landing bay can go backwards with a Deimos docker going downwards. A Deimos belly. You could switch these around if you wanted to. I use this landing bay because it goes better with a docker. I just think having a backwards landing bay just looks better overall. The first floor doesn't really matter which tabs you use. There's an all-in-one berth for the bed. And to go into the docker. These 2 landing gears you don't actually need. I just like how they look. Because you got these 2 landing gears, which are 4 landing gears. There's also 2 other landing gears, which are actually in the wings. See right there, I've glitched into here. Doing the wings is easier at one of your outposts in a landing bay that you make, because you'll be able to duplicate these to put this in easier. Because you need to be able to duplicate to use the building glitches. You can give these sideways braces forces a door. They force doors. Because if you use a regular thing like this, it interferes with the here. It wants to make ladders in places you don't want them to be. So this forces a doorway. A 1x1 Deimos companionway. These Hope Tech landing gear. And to have these here and the landing bay and the landing gear here, you need to be able to duplicate. You need to be able to duplicate the shielded cargo. So doing it at your outpost is a good way to do it. I like to have a workshop. If you've got the place to sleep to get the resting bonus. And a workshop to do your stuff at. You could do a 3x3 cargo hole. But I like having these Deimos bellies. They just give it a more shapely look. 3 Deimos bellies at the end. This looks so much better. And then the Nova Galactic Bridge. I think you get this on Titan. The place in Titan, I forgot what it's called. And you have a battle stations. I like the Nova Galactic battle stations because it's got like a wall here and like a little doorway to like a control area, which I think looks good. Next to that, I've got a Hope Tech Armory. It's like a mini brig and some armor you can place in. I wish the armories had more mannequins. None of the armories seem to have mannequins. And you want to have a Hope Tech spine, which forces a doorway here. With these shielded cargoes, you normally put them here, but you can't put them here because of the landing gear. But what you can do is you can duplicate a hab, or you could duplicate a Deimos hull structure. You'll put it on top of there, and then you'll grab the shielded cargo and put it on there. And then what you'll do is you'll select both these shielded cargoes and then duplicate. And they'll duplicate and snap, as long as you don't move the thumbstick into the position. You just delete them. Ever since I learned that duplicating glitch building, I've been using it all the time. I love it. I like to have a Tayo all in one berth, a top piece, because it looks better. Not so blocky. If you really wanted to, you could do a Tayo bottom piece. I just don't like to do that because I like to have windows. But thinking about it now, it's kind of pointless because there's not much you can see through the windows except for the engines. The only downside to this is you can't have windows. You could have the bottom with the windows, but it's not as curvy. It's kind of defeats the purpose of having the bottom piece. Doesn't really matter what shield you have. Come to think, shields are kind of pointless in this game. So it doesn't matter which one you have. And then you want a mess hall. And these, I don't actually have the Starship design to actually get these, but I used another glitch where you make sure that when it spawns in, it's going to be in something. So go to engines. Normally you can't build these without the skill points. But if you grab this or something else, move it away. Don't place it. Do not place it. Instead, use up and down D-pads to go up and down. And you can go all the way down into stuff you can't normally buy. And place it and you can use it as long as you can pay for it. The only downside doing that is you can't use the glitch building if you don't have the skill for it, because you can't duplicate. You can't duplicate if you don't have a thing to do it, so you can't. And then for the, I don't like how this looks. And there's not. Then they need to add more structures, because it's hard to find things that go well, especially like this. There's no pieces that blend with the bridge here. You would think that this would be rounded to go with the Nova Galactic. You would think, being Nova Galactic, they would blend with each other. So weird. But also, because I've got this spine which forces a doorway, you can have something that goes across here. So you grab a hab, 2x1 hab, place it here. The ladder will spawn here, but because that spine piece, it forces a doorway from here to here. It's like someone who made, it's like one of the people on the team for the shipbuilding realized that someone fucked up, so they decided to put these spines here to help people have doors where they want them to have doors. I got these Stroud caps. I just grab them and flip. Swap. They need to add more structure because there's not enough structures that blend with each other. But I didn't really know how to fix this. Finish this top piece. I'll just use a Stroud braking engine. And I think it looks alright. And with this shield, I use another glitch building thing. Put the shield there. Duplicate this armory. Then grab this Deimos cowling. Put it there, and then you duplicate, and it goes down over the shield. I got this. I use a glitch thing to get this scan jammer. Get an equipment plate and put the scan jam on top of it, and then place it here. All this, I used to have 3 habs on top of the mess hall, but I didn't really need all that passenger seats. So instead I went with this Stroud cowling, this long piece. I'll duplicate on both sides and flip it. And then I thought having this radiator would look cool, and it kind of does. And in front of that, I'll put another Put another Stroud braking engine in front of it. I didn't really know what else to put there. And before you start making the wings, you would want to go to Hope Tech, so you can have 4 of these, and just duplicate them and then put them onto the back, and then fly back to your outpost. So you can use a glitch building thing to have them where the engines are. And my ship mainly uses turrets. I got 4 disruptor neutron turrets for the hull and shield damage. It's just funny, these are class B and yet they seem to be the best turrets I can find. And I got these auto alpha turrets because they do hull and shield, like a high fire rate. I can place them onto these pieces, these Nova cowlings. I'll just split these into layers, like onions and Shrek. I don't know why I thought of that, but I did. Start by doing a Hope Tech bridge. So you need a total of 4 of these bridges. 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And I use a Shroud Eklund 3x1 as the middle piece. Then use these Deimos wings, like blades. You can do those at the very end. So and when the thing's finished, these Nova cowlings are what hold the landing gear. Well, I was messing around a while ago. I really like how this looks. If you think that looks a bit unnatural, you could also put a landing gear at the back, on underneath. But I really like the look of this without the wings. My ship design has been based on another game called Trailmakers and Terratech. I made like a scarab-looking tank with pincers on the side, and that's basically where I got the idea for my ship. It's evolved into that. And underneath that middle piece, I use a Teo Engineering Bay bottom. If you don't want... You could do the top one without the windows, the window pieces, the attached pieces. But I like to have the blades on the sides. And then above that is the same, but the top piece. And if when you finished, because the way I got this set up, from the middle there's a ladder at the very front going up, and then the back a ladder going down. If for whatever reason when you actually finish this build and the ladders aren't in the positions you want them to be, you can position the pieces like the pieces like this, and it kind of forces the ship to have a ladder here and a ladder here in the middle piece. And then when you put them you would have them set like this. You would finish the build, go back out, and then back in. And then you put them together. And the ladders should be in the positions where you want them to be. At the front, top and bottom, got these Nova cowlings. And if you want the turrets to be where they were, on the top and bottom on the inside, it's another glitch build. Pretty simple, you just grab one of these, grab that, you grab this and put it up the top there, and then you put the turrets, or what other weapons you want, where you want them to go, right there. And if you're not at the right space to get these turrets, you can actually use this method to glitch duplicate even if you don't have access to them, because they're weapons. But you would then go over this Nova cowling and duplicate, and it'll go there. And then you just delete this top Nova cowling, and those weapons attached will also delete. And that's how you get all the turrets and weapons in there, the weapons platform. And if you are building this, you don't have access to these. Grab this and put it into the middle, just off the side there. Grab another Nova cowling and flip it and rotate it. Put it there. These blades, for the sake of simplicity, just ignore these. And put those on later. Don't even need to put those on at all. Then you grab your Deimos hull, put it on the bottom. Deimos belly. Grab a supernova engine. Normally you can't put it down the throw like that. So you put up one and then you'll duplicate it. And then delete it. The top one. And it's in the position you want. there's two ways you can put the landing gear in. If you already have the landing gear, if you go to Hope Tech, you can actually put the landing gear on the inside of the wing. And then come back here so you can duplicate the habs and the demo things over landing gear. But if you don't have the landing gear, put some Demer's hulls over here. Engine up here, same as before. You're doing this if you don't have these landing gear already purchased on the ship somewhere, you can go to Hope Town. And do a different method of getting the landing gear in there. This is assuming that you're got all the pieces built and you're at Hope Tech. You can get a whole bunch of these. You can pre-purchase a whole bunch of these Demer's hull pieces. Have like 4 Demer's pieces on each wing before you go to Hope Tech. And then when you're in the build menu, you can place all these Deimos hull pieces, and you'll grab the landing gear and place underneath where you can, and then just duplicate until it gets to the. And then another thing I've discovered, if it doesn't let you duplicate, what you can do is you can select the landing gear with right bumper, and then select this Demer's hull piece, and then duplicate it, and it should pull that up and that up to this snap point, like that. And again, you can select it, select that, and it'll pull up. If it doesn't let you delete another piece somewhere, it should let you do it. Because it wasn't letting me duplicate. Oh yeah, you want to because at the moment I only have a select number of these pieces available to duplicate. But in the Hope Tech building thing, you wouldn't have that issue. Select both of them and duplicate. Then they should be in position. Yep. Yeah, that method that for some reason you can't duplicate into certain things, but that method, I don't know if other people discovered it or if it's something I've discovered. It'd be cool if it's something I discovered. But it literally grabs and it forces it to be duplicated upwards or downwards. Makes things so much easier. The glitch building. You grab these Deimos wings. And just duplicate them. And make them red, because I just think that looks so cool. And it gives the shape, gives the ship an overall good shape. This looks better, having a bit more rounded. I'm just going to delete my power core. No. Yeah. I've actually found a better power core. But at the moment, the one I've got now is fine. You want to have two of these. You need to do the power core that I made, you have to have something you can actually purchase and use. So you need the skill points if you want to use some of these. But I don't think it's even necessary. These Titan ones are perfectly fine. And the cargo that I would use this and this, these two, but for some reason it fucks up my ship and it stops turning properly. So there's only so much cargo I can actually use. It is only a visual glitch, but it doesn't look right. But what you want to do is you want to use the method where you can purchase things without actually having a skill for them. Go to this red Store Max 60 cargo hold. Make sure when you select it, it's in something in red. So you can press A, and then move down, and then down on the D-pad to get to this. 1200 capacity galleon cargo hold. But I'll also show you the glitch I'm talking about afterwards. So. You want to grab this and you want to grab these three and move them aside. And if you're doing this in your outpost, you can grab a whole bunch of these Deimos hull. Actually, you don't even have to do that. You can just use any 1x1 habs. Or some of this other way so you can do the glitch. You just want to make a couple of things of these above and below. Make like a tower, so you can do the glitch. I like to have this galleon upside down because it makes the front look a bit better. And you'll place that next to these pieces. And then this galleon cargo hold underneath that. Don't need these. Don't need these down here. You'll grab these and put these. God, fucking, why does it not grab it? Put the 2 fuel tanks underneath that. You don't need 2, you can just use 1 if you wanted to. Grab them. You duplicate 1 and put them above here. Same as before, you grab both of these and this one up here and then duplicate, and it'll pull. The duplicate will literally pull these 2 upwards. They're in there, don't worry about it. They are in there. You could switch those 2 around and you can actually use this little lip to see whether they're in there or not. But I know they're in there. So delete these. Get a grav drive and put it underneath. Reactor. Grab a reactor. I've got a 27 power reactor. I can get a 29 power reactor, but I'm gonna save that for my other ship when I recreate this ship. Hopefully they'll get rid of the bug. You put the reactor up top. You'll need a couple of these behind the tank. If you just have the one behind it there, you'll be able to duplicate this into that a bit easier. So you would select the grav drive. Add a couple more up here. Select the grav drive and the reactor and duplicate, and it'll pull the grav drive upwards. And then it's in there. You want to make sure you grab the reactor, the grav drive that's already in there, and select it. First you want to delete this reactor. Select the bottom grav drive that's halfway in there, and the reactor, and then duplicate, and it'll pull the thing upwards. So now the grav drive is fully in there. Delete the one at the bottom, and then the other one. Delete this, there's no more snap points up the top. Make sure there's some snap points at the bottom, which is that one. If you really wanted to, you could grab another small fuel tank. Just grab one of these. God damn it, grab it! Fucking controller! Grab this tank and put it there. Make sure there's a snap point. So you'll grab the reactor, you'll select the reactor, select it, and then the fuel tank, and then duplicate. Keep that reactor there. Actually, delete the reactor and the snap points. And that second fuel tank you duplicated. And you do it again, you select the reactor and the fuel tank and duplicate. And it pulls it in. And just grab these three and put them back. And then the radiator and put it back where it's supposed to be. And that's done. I got more cargo, but I'll show you what I mean by that glitch that I seem to get.
I see you're turning this place into your own private shipyard.
I never saved the changes I made. So I don't have the rounded bottom, which doesn't matter, don't care. All the windows and weapons you can use, whatever.
Liftoff looks good. All systems.
Orbital insertion achieved. We're spacebound again.
And now they're in space. You see when I turn left and right? When I turn left, it tilts. That's normal. As soon as I put power, as soon as I change the power in engines, it's gonna start turning like this. Like if you're holding down the bumper for thrusters. 3, 2, 1. See? It's now turning like this, which is not normal. I don't know why it does that, it just does. It is only a visual thing, so it doesn't really make a difference. It just doesn't look right. But it is only a visual bug, so if that stuff doesn't bother you, it doesn't really matter.